This is a presentation on me and what I'm doing. It's a tablet, and I'm recording podcast on this one. This is a laptop I'm recording on, and that's where I am when I do videos for my YouTube channel and for my home pages, websites. So I'm going to make an introduce on my podcast when I'm recording now the video also. Hello, I'm going to recording a little more introduce me, because I have taken one more step out in the world. So I produce podcast for countries outside Europe. Just now I'm recording podcast for Africa, and I'm going to see if I can reach all countries there is that have podcast hosting. It's be very much challenge to do that, but then also I need to introduce myself, because people don't know who I am. And my name is Eva Virginius, and I was born in Sweden, and now I live in Sweden also. I have been lived in United States 6 years in my life, and but I'm back to Sweden, and I suppose you never know what God wants for your life, but just now am I in Sweden, and I was born 1952, and I am a single woman. I live alone in my little home here in Sweden, in Helsingborg. It's the city close to Copenhagen. That's the closest international airport for me if I want to travel abroad. So I can see over the water we have here, that is between Denmark and Sweden. I can see Denmark from my city, and I'm going to introduce what's happened to all this story that I am recording on podcast and also on YouTube channel and my websites, and you have that the addresses to my websites on here. I'm recording the same time I'm recording my podcast. I'm recording a video for my YouTube channel, and it's gonna be the address to my websites is going to be in the information for the video and the podcast. And it started. I was really down because very much happened to me in year 2000, and I was very bad shape. I was very down, and I didn't felt me depressed, but I felt like hunted by the devil very much. I've fight against the devil, and I didn't know how to defend myself because I didn't know God. We didn't have a Bible in my home. We didn't go to a church. I was not raised in the church, even if we were to church sometimes, but I was not being educated in the Bible and church. So I didn't know how to defend me. So the devil got me in such a status that I wanted to make a suicide. I was so frightened and confused and frightened, so I decided me to kill myself. And so I had the plan that day to go down in the water, and I only waited for my daughter to fall to sleep, and she was 15 years old. But she felt the same thing as me, that something is going on in our home, and she wanted to do something. She was in that age that they are very curious about mysterious things. So she looked at internet and was wondering how to speak with ghosts, as we thought it was, and because there was like moving around in the air in our apartment, even if we have closed windows, there was like air flying around, and it's a touch our chin and move around in our hair, and like something wanted to talk to us. So so my daughter, she saw that on internet that you should burn herbs, and had candle lighting, 5 candles together, and that we did, and we sit and wait for something to happen. We didn't know what. We have no idea about this with spirit things, and suddenly, after a long time, I was ready to end up the whole thing because nothing happened. And just in that time, it started to happen, that the spirits come forward. And the first that come forward was the spirit of myself, on me when I was 8 years old. And And then after I had coming through, but I was not talking to myself as a child. I only saw myself in the air. And when I did that, my father, who had passed away in 1970, he come forward and talked to me. I didn't see him, but I knew it was him, even if I had forgotten how he sounded like that. The spirit gave me the understanding that it was my father, and what he was telling me, I understood it was my father, because he wanted me to forgive him for have not been in a part of my life when I was a child, and he was not part of my life because he was drinking. He was drinking every day. He was drunk every day, and he was not at home because he preferred to be in the bar, in the restaurant, with his friends, and of course his job also as a manager for an insurance company, and that's how they can be not part of your life when you are a child, and then it's come other people and ask me to forgive them because they had done bad things to me when I was a child, and it was so much love in the air, so I couldn't say no. Of course I forgive them for what they have done. Uh, that's it was not like a force, but it was that feeling of total love in the air that make me say I forgive you. But I had hard to forgive my biologic father for what he had done. So it became only a little half of forgiveness to him, and I think it's okay that I am half into forgive him. Um, be, that he failed me so much, and I'm okay. I think it's okay that I think I helped him to stay in heaven because I tried to forgive him and all this other that come through. I forgive them for what they have done, and in that way I help them to come to heaven. So only that um, I did in that time make me to understand that that we can also help to save people up to heaven. Uh, it's not only going through Jesus that we can do it also. Of course, Jesus. Then, when the spirits was gone, I never saw the spirit. I only heard them, and when they were gone, I saw Jesus Christ in the room, and and He have taken them to me. So in that way, He saved them. We saved them together, Jesus Christ and I. And I, I suppose I think that God and Jesus Christ say that if she that was a victim of you forgive you, then we forgive you also, and you can be here in heaven. So it was a work together, God, Jesus Christ, and me, together, we three. And because Jesus Christ was talking to me about my childhood and make me understood what had been going on in my childhood, and I was healed from it. I could put it behind me and go forward. But of course I have to talk about it. But I have no scars from it anymore. It's gone. And when Jesus Christ had talking to me, then suddenly it come a voice, a big voice, like it could be a military man talking to me very loudly. And that was God. I knew it was God. I knew it in my heart that it was God that was talking to me. And God, He was talking about my future. And in that time, I was married. I have a great job. I had my daughter that was 15 years old. And I have okay life, but it was, and I had okay life when it's come to material things, but not what it come with about people. Because my husband, he had not told me when we got married that he had HIV, so that took me down total when I come to know that he had HIV. And in that time, in 2000, year 2000, that was, they didn't know so much about it. So we thought in that time that only to kiss someone with HIV could make us get HIV. But I never got it. God protected me like He had done the whole life when the devil had tried to kill me. And because the devil had tried that many, many, many times to kill me. And he had failed because I had covering of not only the guardian angels, not only, I'm sorry to say that, but I have been covering from everything in heaven, and nothing from man. People in this world have never helped me. They have never helped me. In these 20 years I have come to know God and work for God in 20 years. No one have helped me. I have been alone here on earth. But in that way, I'm thankful that people have not helped me, because I have been isolated. I have been alone, and in that way I have learned much more than if I had people around me that have disturbed me and trying to take me to other places, to other thinking. And now I have in 20 years being only together with God. It's only me and God the whole time, and God's kingdom, those hosts we have in heaven, those angels, Jesus Christ, and all ancestors that are coming through and talk to me. Those I have not could learn and experience all these things if I had got help from other people. So in that way am I thankful, but I feel sorry and sad for the world, because it is what it is. It's people are so selfish, and people are not seek God, they seek money. They are money hungry, this world, and they don't care about other people. If it's not benefit themselves, then they help. If they can show up that in the camera they show how they feed hungry people, they show up and that they give money to organizations. If they when they do that, it's for themselves, because say like business, for example, where the churches that put up their name that they have sponsored these things and they have given these things. The commercial they get from to give those money and the food and whatever they help with, it's much cheaper for them to do this than to pay for commercial to be done, recording commercial. If they can only standing at the in the camera and showing up that they feed poor people, that's is so much cheaper commercial for them. It's benefit for them, and it's only for temporary giving hungry people food, only for the camera. So I have seen much evil, many evil things, many things that normal, ordinary people don't see. But I have been under God, and God have wanted me to be educated in what's going on in the world, and He wants to show me what He is seeing. He wants to see His world, what He sees, what's going on. and He educates me to know the devil, how the devil is working, and how to protect me from the devil. And that's what I recording, my story, my walk in 20 years, alone, homeless, poor, very poor in money, no, hungry. All this test of the world that I have done for God. I was hungry. I have nothing. I have nothing. I was more poor than I have been to Africa, and they be so surprised when I told them that I have been more poor than you. I had nothing, and you have at least your village. You at least have your family relatives. You have something. but I had nothing when I was in United States and test the churches, test the people in United States, how they did, or how they did when I show up as a needy, total needy person, because I have nothing, not $1, and nothing to go to, and in the beginning I didn't know how what to do when you don't have any money, and when you have no place to sleep in, and when you are in another country. I didn't know anything, but now I know everything about people in need. I know what they going through because God have shown me how it is to be total down and out. But that's not today, because God have given me so much now, because I have done the work for Him, and my work was to test the world, test the church people, and that's what my podcast is about, and it's about to learn about God and God's kingdom, and what is in God's will, what He wants you to do for Him. It's not about you, it's about Him, God, what you are doing for Him. You'll be surprised when you listen at my podcast that what you thought was some work you did for God was a work for yourself and not for God, and God knows that. You can't hide anything from God. Adam and Eve tried to hide for God that what they have done, but God had already seen it, and He knew it, because He knew everything from the first day to the last day. He knows our lifespan, even if we have not been born here on earth. He knows already what will be in our life. He knew my life before I come to earth, and the devil, he knew also me, what I should do for God, and he have tried to kill me the whole time, my whole life. He tried to kill me before I was born, also in my mother's womb, but he couldn't. He failed. So if you listen on my podcast, you will learn so much that no church can teach you about. You will see, and you will have new eyes and new ears after you have listened to my podcast and maybe watch some of my videos also. So thank you for listening and watch me, and stay blessed. You be blessed when you watch and listen on what I'm telling you. And I have visitors from heaven that is coming down sometimes and want to talk. I want to talk to you. Thank you, and God bless you. So I have done the podcast and I need to write. So stop it. So now I'm done with that. Now is it only you and me on this video, and I'm going to upload it on YouTube for you to understand, to know that I have a podcast also. I have 3 ways to come out to the world to make people knowing God, real God, that the church doesn't teach you about. That I am not a reader of the Bible. I am a prophet, and I hear from God, and that's the most important thing, to hear what God is telling us today, because we live today. So that's most important. The Bible can tell us many things, but it's about today we want to hear and want to understand and want to adjust us to what God wants for this world. And it's only, everything is about God's will. It's not our will. Today is it almost everything is what people want, and they never ask what God wants. What they are saying people is, what people say to God is, what can you do for me? That's what people say today. That's very seldom they ask God, what can I do for you? What's your will? No, they say, what can you do for me? This is my will. This is my will. I want you to do this for me, God. You know it, you laugh, because you know it's true. So I end now, and thank you for watching, and I hope you watch my videos. So far have it not been so much people that have watched all my videos on YouTube, but it is like a pastor I met in the United States that have a very, very big church, a mega church, and it's of some. That's how God do it. Sometimes I can't explain why I was on my own with this pastor. The church was total empty, and it was only he and me. But it was a message God wanted me to get, and that I remember it. In 20 years I have remembered it, because it was important message I got from that pastor, for founder of a mega church, because he said that for the first year I was preaching for the angels, he said. And that if you don't understand what he was saying, I understood what he was saying. He only opened the church. I do the same. I recording. I do 3 ways. I do my websites, and then I do my videos here, and then I do a podcast to reach out in the world. And there is not so many that listen and watch or read just now. But I know God is going to pull people to my places. So there will be. It doesn't matter, there is not much today. There is some, but not as I was hoping for some years ago. Now I don't care because I know what it's about. And this pastor, he was open the church, he do everything for a church service, and he was preaching, and maybe it was some of his family and relatives that is many times in the church. It's not strangers in the church, it's only family and relatives and friends for friends for the family, and then it's nothing more. It's only they who know the pastor, so or founders, and so that's for me also. I do this for the angels, and it will fill up with more. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. It doesn't matter because my work for God is to give message to people what God is saying to us. And that's what I do. I can't force anyone to come and watch my videos or listen at my podcast or read my websites. I can't do that. I do my part. That's enough in my life. I can't force anyone. God can pull people to me so they can hear and they can read and they can listen to what he is talking about today. So thank you and God bless you and thank you for watching this. Thank you.